Welcome into the Dominator, folks. I am your host, Billy Musio. With me today, Bradley Stalder, the new co-host of the Dominator moving forward for in-season AMA rankings, questions, start, sit, lineups, decisions. Bradley, welcome back to the podcast. The boys are back.
We're here. Look at us. It's always great to be podcasting with you, Billy. Always great to be discussing fantasy. I'm excited to be doing this in-season Dominator, ready to help our listeners and viewers dominate their fantasy lineups, giving some of the best fantasy advice. Billy and I, we go way back. We've been crushing it. For those who are new to Player Profiler, new to us, we started making content together. What was it, back in 2020?
Yep.
And now we are here together yet again. I'm excited, Billy. This is great. I've been wanting to, since being on and joining Player Profiler, doing a show with you on the reg. I know you've been a busy man, but look at us jumping into the Dominator. And we've got some exciting comments in the ready and queued up. But before we do that, Billy, we've got injuries, right?
We do have injuries, but all right, enough of that shit. All right, let's go. We got some injury reports here. Let's run through some of the questionable tags for Sunday. Deebo Samuel officially draws a questionable tag. Was looking like he was going to be doubtful, but today they said he's questionable for tomorrow. Elijah Mitchell also questionable. So my Niners, though, with the matchup, I would not be surprised if both these guys sat. That being said, they do draw the questionable tag, so not officially ruled out. Miles Sanders also questionable. Jonathan Mingo questionable here for Carolina. This was a little more interesting because running back field right now, Bradley, is pretty gross, right? We're starting Kyron Williams, who's now a workhorse RB. We're starting anybody with a pulse, and so losing Miles Sanders this week would be a big blow to fantasy teams. Mingo, of course, questionable as well. Deshaun Watson, Bradley, is questionable as well. Mm-hmm. Hasn't thrown a football week. Looking doubtful, in my opinion, but does draw the questionable tag.
Reports are that he's going to test it pregame.
Yeah, and so we saw Jimmy Garoppolo get ruled out today, which was the quarterback. Derek Carr still technically questionable. We have Marquise Brown questionable. Tyler Higbee questionable. Justice Hill is supposed to play but draws a questionable tag, and Salvon Ahmed also draws the questionable tag. Doubtful tag we see is Austin Eckler this week, and is pretty much been officially ruled out, all but actually official. Rashad Bateman, Odell Beckham, Treylon Burks, Zay Jones, Irv Smith, and Quez Watkins all officially ruled out. And officially ruled in for the week, we have Jalen Waddle, Anthony Richardson, Brandon Ayuk, Alvin Kamara, Gus Edwards, Durham Smythe, and Logan Thomas. Anything on the list, Bradley, that is going to be significantly impacting your rankings?
Well, I moved Chuba Hubbard up significantly in the rankings. I moved him up to running back 31 right now. I think that's where I have him, right behind Breece Hall. But ahead of Jalen Warren, ahead of Joshua Kelly, ahead of Khalil Herbert.
Yeah, I think this could be definitely a big Chuba Hubbard week as well. He's moved up my rankings. Tomorrow, I have not officially posted the rankings for tomorrow, but as more news comes out, he'll definitely moving up. And I even think if Sanders is active, Chuba Hubbard needs to be moved up inside the projections and rankings regardless, because we're probably going to see a heavier dose of him regardless of the situation with Sanders. I have one start-sit question for you this week.
Okay.
You are more of a tight end whisperer than I am. I just can't fucking figure out tight end. My life depended on it. Running backs, quarterbacks, whole nother story. Tight ends, them tight ends, Bradley. But you are the tight end whisperer. So I have a conundrum this week. And this is actually in like multiple lineups where I have these two. And the options are, this is tight end premium, by the way, so it does make a difference. Tyler Higbee or or Chigo Okonkwo. There's no Treylon Burks.
That's why, you mentioned Treylon Burks being out. Chig does need to be moved up, but I'm not that high on Chig. I mean, look, it brings back the debate when I think it was on the Dominator back last time when we were talking about tight ends and whether Chig Okonkwo was going to be a thing, and I was anti-Chig at that point. I have Chig, in the top 18, so mid tight end 2, and maybe I'll bump him up a little bit, but I'm not going to go hog wild. This Tennessee offense is bad.
Okay.
And I am concerned that, even if targets start going toward Chig, they're not going to be as meaningful as we'd want them to be. So DeAndre Hopkins is still going to get his, and that's pretty much the only player in this Tennessee, passing game that is worth their dime. I mean, let's look at what Chig Okonkwo has done this year. Weekly finishes of tight end 53, 27, and 52.
Not inspiring.
Not inspiring. So even if he does get meaningful targets, or meaningful amount of targets, I don't know if they're going to be very valuable.
Does the Higbee Achilles scare you at all, though?
He is questionable.
They literally said questionable with Achilles, contract extensions. Like, thanks for all the mixed signals. You helped me no way whatsoever this week. I pulled him out of my lineup, put Chigo in, and then it's all the contract extension. I was like, well, they can't be that worried.
He walked up the stairs to sign his extension. Okay.
Exactly.
He's fine. I'm not too worried about Higbee at this point unless we get more news telling me otherwise. I'm going to continue to roll with Tyler Higbee.
All right. I might hedge and go 1-1 or 2-2, and I don't know. I got to see how many. I have these guys a lot in a lot of leagues, so up to this point, looking like a miss, but we shall see. The chat is lit right now. We have about 20 questions. Let's go ahead and start jumping into these right away. This is a 30-minute podcast. We're in, we're out. We're answering your questions. The first one comes from XY Zipper. That's actually a good name. Would you trade Rachaad White, I'm assuming, for, is that Devon
Achane?
No. I mean, yeah. I'm still calling him A-Chain. Fuck the A-Chain.
Look, he is our king. We will call him what he wants to be called.
It's half PPR, Bradley. His running backs currently are Ramondre, Rashad, Najee, and Kelly.
Like, literally definition of mid running backs. Rachaad White, Ramondre Stevenson, Najee Harris, and Joshua Kelly. Just a bunch of guys.
Yeah, so he's got Ramondre, which is, not looking like it's going to be the best of backs in the situation. Rashad has seen the volume, but the offensive line sucks. He has Fat Trent Richardson and Najee Harris, and then he has Josh Kelly. So not looking the greatest. Devon Achane has the most upside of all these guys, but Rachaad White is seeing a significant amount of touches.
He is. And, Jeff Wilson is eventually going to get back into it. Salvin Ahmed is going to be back in this game. You mentioned that. You can't just ignore what Achane did, last week. You have to take that into account. I do have Achane as a top 20 back for this week.
God, please stop saying, I can't get over the Achane shit. It's Achane, please. It's the best name ever. And then he comes out and says he wants to be called Achane. No, we're not doing that. We're calling him Achane.
At any rate, I think that Rachaad White is also mid. Might as well get one running back on your team that you can swing for the fences with, and that is Devon.
Would you rather keep Rachaad here and trade Najee for Devon?
I mean, either one, fine. Sure. A dime a dozen. They're, whatever. Rachaad White, Najee Harris are both back end to mid.
I think I'd rather have Rachaad White than Najee.
Oh, gross. They're the same to me. I view them as very similar.
Okay, so I am going to keep Rachaad or Devon Achane because as well as he played last week, he's still in a split backfield right now with Raheem Mostert. He's splitting touches. And then we have to look over our shoulder because Jeff Wilson's on his way back. And Jeff Wilson has actually been very productive in this offense as well. And so now we could be looking at a three-headed monster in the near future, although Mostert and Wilson are not necessarily the poster children of health. That being said, we still expect it to be a three-headed monster, at least when all three are in the field. I would lean Rachaad White simply because of the volume, and we expect him eventually to get better than what we have seen so far from an efficiency standpoint. But overall, I'd rather follow the volume. I'm going to go with Rachaad White over Devon Achane. If I could flip Kelly and another piece for Devon Achane, I'd do it in a heartbeat. I would very well consider Najee for Devon Achane and maybe another ancillary piece.
All right.
Next question we have here is from El Canada. Half point PPR. Do you like Puka, Madison, or Kamara in the flex, Bradley? So Puka Nacua has what the Rams are facing. Is it Indianapolis?
Yeah, that is a very porous secondary. So I'd have them ranked Puka and then Kamara and then Madison in that order.
Yep, I have the same order as well. So the panel agrees here, El Canada. We have Puka, Kamara, and Madison in that order. Be curious to see who you have in the starting position at wide receiver, if these are your flex positions, because all these guys are technically start worthy, in my opinion. So if you want to throw who your starters are, because these guys might want to be in there over starters, unless it's like a four-man league and you have just a ridiculous lineup. Jose with a comment here. Great to see the boys back together.
Roll the tape again, Billy.
I was about to say, should we play it again? Dude,
great bit. That's a great bit.
So good. All right, back to the questions. I can't even do it with a straight face. 1 point PPR, running back and flex, Ford, Hubbard, London, Palmer.
I do have Ford over Hubbard this week, and I have Palmer over London this week. That's tough, though. That's so tough. That one's much more difficult. The wide receiver is much more difficult.
So Palmer comes in inside my top 28 at the position this week.
Where do I have Palmer?
London for me comes in almost near wide receiver 40 this week.
Yeah, London is wide receiver 51 for me this week.
Yeah, he's low, and Palmer's relatively high. So Palmer over London for sure for me. I have Ford over Hubbard. Now it changes though if Miles Sanders ruled out. Where would you put Hubbard above Ford this week? Because the matchup isn't the greatest.
Baltimore's defense is really hurt, is the thing. Like they just signed Kyle Van Noy to the 53. Yep. So I think that there is going to be decent enough room to run. If anything, you might even consider like a Jerome Ford over like a Joe Mixon this week, as wild as that sounds.
Yeah.
But Chuba Hubbard, I did move up to 31, which compared to the ECR is much higher than anyone else. Like there's only a few, but Jerome Ford, I do have, 20 to 24.
Okay.
That's assuming Sanders doesn't play.
I think we're in the same. So I'm taking Palmer and Ford right now. And I think if Hubbard comes in, it's close, but I still lean Ford. I think we only pick one of these guys, though. Is that the question?
So one running back, and then we can flex anyone else.
Okay. Ford and Palmer for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Bradley co-signed on the deal. Move on. Wide receiver 3, Godwin or Jacoby Myers since Jimmy G is out. It's Godwin for me.
Now that we have Jimmy G out, I'm gonna have to move Myers down. But Myers has been absolutely crushing. I get why this is, a thing. But shout out Brian Hoyer, Super Bowl champion Brian Hoyer, class St. Ignatius alum. Go Cats. Anyways, still Godwin over Myers given Hoyer.
Myers has been extremely productive. I mean, this is one of the most consolidated target trees we've seen. He's seeing a 31% target tree.
Love it. Yeah, absolutely.
It's been absolutely amazing. But Hoyer in town now, no Jimmy G. The matchup is cake, though. I still probably.
But is Hoyer going to get 175 passing yards?
That's the whole question. I mean, it is the Chargers defense, so you could even say, is it really a defense? Right. And so I probably lean Godwin here. If we knew Jimmy G was in, which he's been ruled out, then I would probably say Jacoby Myers. But I'm thinking I'm going to go Godwin now that Jimmy Garoppolo is out.
Yep, same.
Next question from Jelly of the Month. Again, double dipping here. Ramondre, Rashad White, or Roshan at flex?
Yeah, Ramondre. I should have kept the running back rankings up. I was sneaking to the next question already. Ramondre I have at 15. Rashad White I have at 26. And Roshan I have much lower. So
you have Ramondre pretty high. I have Ramondre at 22.
Yeah, I need to move
the other ones
over him.
I have my screen pulled up. It's Ramondre. Who else?
Ramondre, Rashad, and Roshan. 3 R's.
Third round reversal. I got Ramondre slightly ahead of the other two, so I lean Ramondre in this scenario.
Yes.
Okay, co-signed on that one as well. This has been easy so far.
All right, yeah. Come on, guys.
Where do we have Deshaun Watson ranked? Oh man, this one's a tough one. Before we knew he was going to be potentially out, he was already at like quarterback 15 for me. And so now
17 right now, yeah.
Not being able to throw a football, I'm going to say look elsewhere.
Yep. Stafford over Watson.
Yeah, it's pretty ugly. Like, yeah, I had Stafford pretty close to Watson before. I had Jordan Love close to Watson. I would probably play Winston over Watson this week. I'd play Pickett over Watson.
Assuming the Carr doesn't play, yes.
Yeah, exactly. And then I would probably play, Geno, of course, Goff, who already played. I mean, I would arguably play Baker Mayfield over Deshaun Watson this week.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
So I'm saying pretty much what we're saying is bench Watson.
Yeah, you should be looking for someone else.
Okay, Florosaurus in the house says, hey guys, half PPR, start 2, Pickens, Madison, DJ Moore, JSN. JSN can't even be listed anymore. Come on now. Come on, Flores.
Yikes.
Theo already pretty much owes me $350. That was pretty much paid. He's not going to hit wide receiver 36. Nearly impossible.
No.
He's currently starting Pickens and Madison. Yeah, I'm not going to read the rest of that. So pick 2.
Yeah, I think it's still Pickens and Madison at this point.
Yep, co-signed. I agree as well. DJ Moore has he's only seen a 16.5% target share, Bradley.
It's gross. Roshan Johnson has almost the same amount of targets.
Yeah, I remember we warned people about this offense going into the season. They don't throw enough. It was a lateral move. I said it's a lateral move, possibly downwards from his current situation, because at least they threw him the ball. We knew it was the devil you know versus the devil you don't, right? And here we are now, and we're
still dancing with the devil.
We're still dancing with the devil, but now the devil's gross. They're not even throwing him the ball. And so DJ Moore is like a back-end wide receiver 3 until further notice, or until we can see a little bit more volume from him on a weekly basis. So I am not comfortable starting DJ Moore. I'm glad I didn't draft him this year. I was a little hesitant on the offense, and it's looking like it looked like it's starting to be exactly what we expected. Charles, welcome back. Yes, right. We're back. I would roll it back, but we've already done it 3 times.
We've done it 3
in 18 minutes. So we'll save you one more. The boys is back. But if we see another comment, we're gonna have to roll back.
We might not be able to help ourselves.
Dalton has a question here. PPR flex question. Kelly, no, just bench Kelly. Kelly fucking sucks.
Yeah, no. Let someone else cut him and allow someone else to have Kelly on their roster to struggle with Josh Kelly.
The rest of these options though aren't good either.
Give me DJ Chark. Give me DJ Chark as the upside play. I know it's boom bust, but at least he can boom. Charbonnet is playing significantly behind Ken Walker. Mingo's dealing with the concussion, and Campbell is absolute garbage. So at least give yourself a fighting chance with DJ Chark.
I was -10 on Kelly last week, and it wasn't even low enough on ECR. It was like you could have
play DJ Chark. Do.
Yeah, I think I agree with Bradley on this. I'd probably gamble with DJ Chark. Kelly's gonna see the volume, but I would not be surprised if they got Dotson more involved. They got Spiller more involved this week, and they took a hot hand approach because Kelly has not been the answer. Charbonnet has seen like a 20% rush share, has not seen a lot of target share, so he's pretty much not involved. Mingo is, of course, is going and banged up as well. Campbell is on the Giants, and we know how that offense is looking right now. So I'd probably lean DJ Chark as well. It's ugly. If you wanted to disagree with us,
Campbell has the lowest PFF receiving grade in the NFL.
It's pretty gross. If you wanted to go with Kelly for the volume, go for it, and we hope that you regret it after you see 2 points in your bench or on your starting offer. Fields or Stafford? Oh boy. I mean,
Look,
we're literally at this point of the season, but this is the matchup. If we weren't in such a cake matchup, I would say it's debatable, but we're facing Denver, who just gave up 70 points. I'd say if you're not starting Fields this week, then you should just pretty much trade him or drop him. You have to start him this week.
Yep, and Denver and Chicago are both hurting very badly on their defense, so this could be a sneaky shootout game of just garbage.
A garbage shootout.
Garbage shootout.
Jelly the Muff back in here. Burrow or Richardson? 6-point passing touchdown. Yep. I think I lean Richardson as well. Burrow has not looked good this season. Calf isn't great. You can see he's definitely gingerly when he's in the pocket. He's not been scrambling at all. It's been pretty much everything in the pocket or get rid of the ball. I'm worried of an injury any point in the season, Bradley, any given game.
Yeah.
And it has not looked the same. I'm going Richardson with the upside of the rushing yardage, and he's actually been more accurate in the NFL than he has ever in college, which has been a very big surprise to me. And so I think we have to go Richardson, even with the concussion possibility injury. We've seen it happen. I am going to go Richardson in this situation.
I think it's really easily Richardson. I have him at 6. Burrow, I moved all the way down to 19. Burrow you mentioned it, his calf isn't right. Things just aren't right for Cincinnati. And we also talk about game environment. Like, this game is not going to be a shootout between Cincinnati and Tennessee. Their over-under for the game is 40.5, and it's been dipping. So there's not an opportunity for Burrow to get into a shootout. Richardson versus the Rams, that can be much more of each team gets 25 points, So I'm here for Richardson.
Okay. Half-point PPR, Garrett Wilson, London, or Ford. I know that the Jets have been abysmal. I mean, they look like just straight dog water. But I do think that the matchup is in a prime situation for Garrett Wilson. They're going to be playing from behind, probably passing the entire game. It is still, a very bad passing attack. That being said, I still think Garrett Wilson has a good chance for a touchdown, has a good chance for 50 to 60 yards, and I lean Garrett Wilson here pretty heavily over there too.
I mean, Taylor Swift is going to be at this game, so Billy, I mean, of course he's going to want to go off in front of the queen herself, the queen of the United States. Garrett Wilson is the pick as well.
Oh boy, here we go.
We'll move on.
Even if we didn't have her at the stadium, I still think it's Garrett Wilson. Ron T asks Kincaid or Pitts, Bradley.
Yeah, we need to see it from Kincaid consistently, and we haven't seen it yet. I have Pitts over Kincaid. Pitts is getting the alleged opportunity. The potential is there for Pitts. His air yard share is ridiculous. His target share is good enough, but Ritter is so bad. Ritter's just so bad. I have Pitts at 12, Kincaid at 14 right now. So maybe that'll shift a little bit, but I don't think it's going to shift enough for Pitts to fall below Kincaid.
Yeah, I agree. Slight lean over Pitts, even though the usage has been less than stellar. I still think that he's been seeing more than Kincaid has. So I agree. Pitts over Kincaid. If Debo's down, Dell or Thielen?
Oh, that's a tough one because I have Tank Dell at 35, Thielen at 32. It's a revenge game narrative for Adam Thielen. He's thriving in that new slot role.
I lean Thielen.
Dell has played well, though.
He's played well, but has been back-to-back touchdowns. And if you take away the last one was a 75-yard touchdown, you take away that he only had 70 yards, and so
how dare he have 70 yards?
Yes, I know, right? But it's not 150 in a touchdown, is what I'm saying,
right.
And so I think Thielen's getting more usage. Tank Dell's seeing increased usage week over week, which is good to see.
Yep.
I just still don't fully trust him right now. I lean Thielen in this game.
Yes.
Okay.
Cosign.
Elijah Moore or Mike Thomas? I think with the quarterback health right now or lack thereof in Cleveland, I lean Mike Thomas this week. Tampa does not have a good secondary. I think Mike Thomas has a decent matchup.
Thomas, in his 3 games with Jameis Winston last year, 2 of those 3 games were at least flex worthy. So we like Mike Thomas even with Jameis Winston. Derek Carr will be fine too. I agree with you. Concerns with quarterback. And Elijah Moore just hasn't put it together. Very bad receiving grade, very bad yards per route run. He's been getting targets, but Moore has just not delivered on the field.
All right. This was supposed to be a 30-minute podcast, but we're not even halfway through the questions. So
oh man,
this might be a 45-minute podcast. Let's take a look.
Sorry, guys. We're having too much fun here.
We got need to Palmer, A-Chain, Madison. Eileen, Palmer, and Madison here. It's close though.
I will give Palmer, and then I need to consult the rankings here. I have Madison slightly ahead of A-Chan.
Yeah, it's not much, but it is a slight lean.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're in agreement here. Palmer and Madison. Jody.
Jody.
Must win. Half PPR. Are you ever going to shave your beard? Never, Jody. My daughter wants me to grow it out. She said, like Dumbledore. So we're not even Viking yet. So Viking is probably here. Dumbledore is here. That's where we're getting. That's the goal. So it's on the horizon. Need to Judy, Thielen, Kamara. I think Kamara is the instant lock in for me. And I probably lean Judy over Thielen this week.
I think so too. Judy over Thielen. Let me just double check. But yeah, Judy I have at 26. Thielen I have at 32. So yep.
Yep, and I agree. And the matchup's just good. The Bears just don't play defense. Ron T says, would you trade away Bryce Young and Roshan Johnson to acquire Kyler Murray and Zach Charbonnet? Dynasty. Okay, I wasn't saying. Dynasty changes things a little bit. But no, I'd probably stick with Bryce Young and Roshan.
Yep.
Okay. In agreement here. Colts versus the Rams or Browns versus Baltimore. I'm assuming this is a defense question.
Yeah, I think Browns
have been elite.
Browns defense. Let's go Browns defense, baby.
Yeah, the Browns have been elite. I mean, they were not good last year, but they've really changed this year. And they've been
defensive
really,
coordinator.
really good.
Yep.
Browns it is. Half-point PPR, pick 2. Jacoby Myers, Pickens, Elijah Moore, and Hopkins.
Go Pickens, and then even with the quarterback issue, I might just still go Myers here.
Really? Okay. So I'm Pickens for sure as well. So Pickens is we're in agreement on. For me, it's Hopkins without Treylon Burks. We're probably going to see a 35% target share for Hopkins. I know he's been banged up and playing on an ankle injury, but we're still going to see significant targets. So I lean Hopkins over Jacoby Myers, and Pickens is the other one for me.
Okay. Myers. It's good.
Pacheco or Kelly? Pacheco.
Yep.
I'm not playing Kelly anywhere.
Easy.
I don't own him anywhere either, so that's easy. Full PPR, Jerome Ford, Josh Palmer, or Rashad White flex spot.
We'll go Palmer here.
I think so as well. I'm leaning Palmer here as well. I would not argue if you want to throw Jerome Ford in for the volume. If you want, I'd say upside Palmer. If you want like a guaranteed like 10 points, I'd go with Jerome Ford. If Sanders is a no-go, would you flex Chuba, Gabe Davis, or DJ Moore? I'd flex Chuba in this matchup.
I'd flex Chuba as well. I wouldn't mind. It depends on okay, you need 10 points, you'll get Chuba, but Gabe Davis has the upside to get you 20, but he also can completely bust. So if you're losing by a lot, this is where kind of the strategy goes into it. I think Gabe Davis is an interesting spike week guy, but if you're going to lose, you might as well just throw up a Hail Mary to Gabe Davis.
So if you're facing like a David Montgomery, right, and you know that he just put up 30 points on Thursday, you're playing Gabe Davis here?
Yes.
And if you're not, then you're just going to play Chuba and play it safe?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, this is for me, Billy. Ez versus Nate. Who won Jelly of the Month? I need to know who won.
I don't even know what is this?
So this is the Holy War. Every year, St. Ed's High School versus St. Ignatius play each other.
I thought it was soccer. Cleveland. I don't even know what this is.
This is football. This is like the big state of Ohio Division I football. And Ignatius has won a bunch of state championships. I think it's 10. St. Ed's has won a bunch. My dad went to Ed's. I went to Ignatius. This is a big deal, Billy. This is a big deal. So shout out to you, Jelly of the Month. Let us know who won in the Holy War tonight.
Amen to that shit.
I love using that thing. All right. How or Ayuk Superflex? This is interesting, actually.
Ooh.
So
yeah, Billy. So the insight in San Francisco, how are they feeling about Ayuk?
Ayuk probably plays. If Debo sits, I think I start Ayuk over Howell against Philadelphia.
Yeah, Howell imploded last week.
He did implode, and it's not an easy matchup. The front's going to roll over the Washington front regardless. The secondary is tough as well.
And it's Philly, yeah.
And it's Philly. And if there's no Debo, then Ayuk is probably going to see a 30% target share plus.
Yep.
And so I would lean Ayuk if Debo is out. If Debo is in, I lean Howell. So watch the injury reports in the morning like a hawk. Next question is Downs or Kirk full PPR? I lean Kirk pretty easily.
It's Kirk.
Okay. Next one is DJ Moore, Pickens, or A-Chain. Pickens pretty easily for me with the target share.
Yeah, we'll go with Pickens as well.
Yep. And that breaks down a target share here, Angus. A-Chain, although big week, still going to see about 30% to 35% rush share. DJ Moore has not seen much more than 20% target share all season.
Deontay Johnson out, so Pickens has been getting all the targets. Yeah,
Pickens is the easy lock here. Full PPR currently starting Evans, Cooper, and Flowers. That's a good 3. In a full PPR, start JSN or Mims over one of them. No, you can't do that.
Nope.
JSN has been, I told people he's a dynasty play. He's not a 2023 play.
Yep.
And Mims, as explosive he's been, just hasn't. If we knew that Mims was going to see,
he only has 30 snaps on the season.
If we knew he was going to see 20% target share, then yes, it's a real argument. But Evans has been one of the best receivers in football so far.
Top 5. Yep.
Cooper is getting the majority of the
20.
volume, and then Flowers is going to see 25 to 30% target share this week with everybody out inside Baltimore. So you have it set as is. I wouldn't change a thing.
Beautiful.
If I have to, okay, everybody in the chat, fuck Josh Kelly. He's not. Just get him off your lineups. Enough of Josh Kelly. Get him out of here. Any Josh Kelly questions? The answer is drop him. He sucks. In the best, one of the best offenses in football, in the best situations, he can't do shit. Just get him out of here. Trade him. If you can get pennies in the dollar, do it. Just get rid of him. Chuba. Next question. Joanna's in the chat. Hey guys, wonder if I could trading Jelani Woods for Tutu Atwell is a decent trade in FFPC. I have Andrews, Laporta, and Chig already. My wide receivers are Chase, Diggs, Ayuk. So I'm assuming that she is getting Tutu in this
auto click.
Yeah, auto click as well. Jelani's. I have some questions even when he is back. So I would take Tutu over Jelani Woods.
Yeah, it's already a 3-headed monster there in Indy among the tight ends. So yeah.
Okay, we're in agreement there. Next question is, can I get personal rankings, Billy? So my rankings power the site at Player Profiler. Yes, I have input from Dario as well, and as Evan on the team, the analytics department. But I review them, I edit them, I adjust them all myself by hand. So all of them on their sites are my rankings. I don't update the site rankings on Sunday until about 9:30 in the morning Pacific time. So it's 30 minutes before kickoff. It just takes me about, we get inactives an hour and a half for the game. It takes me an hour to adjust everything and adjust to all the news that we're getting. And like even last week, like up until like 5 minutes before kickoff, it was like, oh, so-and-so is not playing at the 1 o'clock game. And it really like changes everything. It does. Like one person being ruled out can change 10 rankings. And so we have to just be patient with these rankings in the morning. I get them out as soon as I can, but it takes me about an hour once those inactives come out. So 9:30 Pacific, 12:30 Eastern, I'm posting these on the site and we're getting them out. So just keep your eyes peeled over there. We'll get them out as soon as we can on the site on Sunday mornings. Elijah Moore or Mims full PPR. Elijah Moore for me, 25% target share.
More Mims needs more snaps.
Yeah, because he just hasn't seen it. Flowers or A-Chain, 100% Flowers.
We're going Flowers.
Yeah, this is because receivers are out this week inside Baltimore. Flowers going to probably see close to 30% target share this week. Judy or Kirk? This one's close, Bradley. I got to look at my rankings.
I'm going Judy, but it is very close. It's like I have Judy at 26. Oh no, I have Kirk ahead. I have Kirk at 24, Judy at 26. So Kirk at 24. I'm leaning that way.
I have Kirk at 36 and I have Judy at 38.
Ooh, okay. Well, you're much more negative about both of these players than I am.
But I do lean Kirk over Judy. So
either way you slice it.
This close, though, this is what I call flip a coin territory. Yep. So if you don't like the answer, this is where we flip a coin and choose heads or tails. Leave it up to fate. I'm a big believer in this. Gainwell or Roshan? I lean Roshan here.
Let's go Roshan.
Yep. Seeing, 16% target share. They're going to be in a cake matchup against Denver.
Who knows? This could be a blowout again. And that's when Roshan has been feasting. So,
yep. I lean Roshan here as well. All right. Daniel says, is it worth starting Kincaid versus Miami this week, or should I pivot to Higbee versus Indianapolis, Everett versus Las Vegas? I'm just playing Kincaid this week.
I still have Higbee over those other two.
Okay, so Bradley goes Higbee. I go Kincaid. I would not argue either way. I think you can make an argument each way, but
it's the tight end wasteland,
Yeah, for me, it breaks down to the over/under inside the game. With Kincaid, that game's set at 55.5. It's the highest over/under of the week, and I want a piece of it, so I'm going to lean with that game. Elijah Moore or DJ Moore, Bradley?
Oh, can I have less, not more?
No more?
I knew there was a pun there. I think I'd go with I'll just consult the rankings.
Yeah,
Elijah Moore I have at 48, DJ Moore I have at 41. So DJ is ahead, but it's ugly. And especially with the quarterback issue with Deshaun Watson possibly not playing. We'll see. But DJ Moore over Elijah Moore.
Yeah, it's kind of gross. The target share, though, is very interesting for me with Elijah Moore.
I hear you there. He's earning targets. He's just doing shit with them.
There just haven't been accurate targets is the problem.
And you think they're going to be more accurate with Dorian Thompson Robinson?
Maybe. Can't be much worse than it has been.
Maybe. DTR played very well in the preseason.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think I lean DJ here, but it's very close.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to follow the talent. I'm going to DJ Moore here. Pick two. I fucking swear, Bradley.
It's just Ford and Pacheco. Move on.
Ford and Pacheco. Okay. Zach Moss or Brian Robinson, full PPR?
I think I have Moss over Robinson.
I think I got to consult the rankings on this one. I think I have Moss. Oh, I have Robinson 2 spots ahead of Moss. I got Robinson.
I have Moss ahead of Robinson.
I'm at 18 and 20. Where do you have him?
I have Moss at top 12.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I had him at 14 last week.
And Robinson, I have at 18. So I think you and I see him similarly, but
the difference though is they have Richardson back, who's going to take 30% of the rushing share now, where last week he was out and they had 30% up for grabs.
Yeah, I'm still okay with Moss. Maybe I'll move him down slightly, but
okay. I lean Robinson, but ever so slightly over Moss. Bradley leans Moss pretty significantly over Robinson. We'll let you be the determining factor here. Candace's back. Would you attempt to trade Mostert? If so, what caliber running back, wide receiver would you attempt to acquire?
I'm just holding on to Mostert. I'm riding him as long as I can. And just, this is the whole point is like I'm assuming you have waiver wire. You're just picking up guys off the waiver wire to replenish. If he goes out, you're probably going to be able to pick up Jeff Wilson. You're probably going to pick up Achane or someone else. Like you're going to be able to pick up maybe a different running back gets injured. You're probably going to be able to replace RB2 level on the waiver wire. Might as well ride the hot hand at this point.
Okay. Next question. Is a comment. Bradley needs to match Billy's beard. Yes, he does.
I'm working on it, guys.
We're going to put a little milk on it. Have a cat lick it off. Next, Richardson or Lawrence?
Richardson.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think this might be a get right game for Lawrence. I'm going to lean Lawrence here today.
I'm worried about the Jags offense for a couple reasons. One is it's broken, and two, the last time that the Jaguars or the last time Calvin Ridley went across seas, like stuff started breaking down mentally for him. And that's where like things began to unravel and he began to like leave. He was worried about leaving his family and the whole bit. And so I get it that there's already been issues with Ridley for weeks 2 and 3. And now like that has to play a role. So I'm concerned that they don't have Zay Jones. Ridley isn't playing well. Christian Kirk is like, he'll be fine, but I don't see how we have a boom game here against a tough Atlanta defense.
Okay. I still lean Lawrence, but yeah, go ahead, flip a coin. Next question. Ooh, this is actually closer than people want to admit.
Yes.
Josh Palmer or Higgins?
Oh my gosh. At least we can talk about how T. Higgins should be like outside of where do I have him? I have T. Higgins at wide receiver 25 this week.
Do you really? It's Tennessee though.
Yeah,
They don't have a secondary.
He gets Murphy Bunting, and Murphy Bunting over the last 12 games has only allowed more than 40 receiving yards once.
Yeah, but they faced Cleveland. I guess they did face the Chargers the week before.
The last 12 games, only once.
12 games. They said 2 games.
The last 12 games, only one game where he's allowed more than 40 receiving yards.
That's actually pretty good.
And he's supposed to line up mostly against Higgins.
Higgins in the preliminary numbers came in at like wide receiver 15 for me, but I don't think he stays there. Like we know that Burrow's banged up. As good as cake as a matchup this is, Higgins probably moves to like wide receiver 20 for me, but Palmer and him are neck and neck in my rankings. I like the game. I probably slightly lean Higgins, but you could make a case for each of these guys.
I think I still have Higgins over him, but at least we can speak to moving Higgins down.
Yeah, I agree. So that doesn't do you any good.
Sorry.
It doesn't do you any good here, but we both have Higgins ranked above Palmer, but it would not shock us if Palmer outperformed him. This one's gross. Gainwell or P. Ryan?
Gainwell.
Me too. Yeah, P. Ryan's just not getting it done. And so I lean Gainwell.
Javante's not either, but Javante's getting the volume.
He's gained volume, 56% of the rushing share. So yeah, we'll go Gainwell here. Addison, Mims, or Ford? Ford for me.
Addison.
Addison for you. Okay. Does volume scare you at all with Addison?
No, he's getting a lot of good looks. A lot of red zone deep threat looks. I'm fine.
Has only seen 14.5% of the target share though.
I'm okay with that. The volume for the pie is so much larger for Minnesota.
Okay. Yeah, it is a large pie. So 14% is really like 19% somewhere else. I'd lean forward with the volume. I would not argue if you wanted to go Madison. Next question is traded Goddard and Kyron for Kittle and Dynasty. Loaded up at running back thoughts.
No.
Kittle's I love Kittle, but he's getting old.
Both Goddard and Kittle are about the same age, so I don't see it as a significant upgrade.
Yeah, it's kind of a lateral move in my opinion. And then you lost a running back now. I prefer the Goddard Kyron side probably.
Yep.
Elijah Moore for Mims straight up. I'm assuming this is redraft, so I lean Moore in redraft.
I mean, if you're needing to start somebody, Elijah Moore. But if you are like, I just need spike week depth or like long term, yeah, give me Marvin Mims as your long term stash. Like you got deeper benches or whatever.
All right, we're gonna go rapid fire because we got about 30 more questions.
Oh my god!
So rapid fire here. No context, just answers. 12-man full PPR. Lockett, Myers, Everett, or Thomas. Lockett for me.
Lockett.
Okay. Daniel Duong says most droppable in a half PPR. Justice Hill, Mims, Dotson, or Quentin Johnson.
Justice Hill.
Okay. Yeah, I probably agree with that one. That's a tough one. And it depends on your running back situation. And I said no context, but if you don't have running backs, you have to hold Hill. Next question from Johanna. Off my previous question. Burrow's the only quarterback in the league, but which quarterback should I target for Chig? Jelani Woods or Ball? Thanks again. I'm confused.
You should. What quarterback should she get for Chig or Jelani Woods or both?
I don't know if you're going to get a quarterback.
Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, go to your waiver wire. You might get a better quarterback off the waiver. I have no idea. Try to be more specific here, Joanna. We'll be happy to answer it. Next question is, I guess I'm a GOAT. There we go. Awesome.
Goat. Race of all
goat.
time. Let's go.
Goat Museo. Awesome. Love it. Half PPR, hold on to Algier or drop Keaton. No, don't drop Keaton Mitchell. I love Keaton Mitchell.
Don't drop Spears either.
Don't drop Spears.
Tazi Spears.
who's to replace Herbert for week 5?
Either Howell or Pickett. Winston probably isn't starting week 5.
Yeah.
Derek Carr is already like, if we're getting to this point and Derek Carr is like, oh yeah, he's probably going to start, it's probably going to be Pickett or Howell.
Pickett has Baltimore week 5. Howell has Chicago week 5. So it's probably Howell.
Yep.
Howell. But now who are you dropping here?
Probably Mitchell still.
That's probably, I love Mitchell, and I think he's might be the best back.
Yeah,
here.
but they brought in Drake, they brought in Gordon, they brought in
because he's on IR right
now. They have Hill, they have what's his name? They have Edwards. There's 4 running backs operating ahead of Mitchell right now.
Dude, Mitchell's tape is so good, though.
I know, but we're talking just week 5. Like next week, Keaton Mitchell's not leapfrogging 4 players.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, he might. He's that good. He's good.
Like I'll eat.
The other guys didn't even make the roster. The only reason they're on the roster is because he's on the IR. But yes, you're not dropping Spears or Algiers, so I agree with Bradley. No. If you have to drop somebody, then you're dropping Mitchell here. All right, I don't like it, but yes, you have to. Looking for best sleeper between Kendra Miller or Keaton Mitchell. Keaton Mitchell. Miller sucks, dude. This year, at least. He's going to be good for Dynasty, but...
He's got the MCL injury he's still dealing with. Whatever.
And the hamstring and everything else. And now Kamara's back. So for me, it's Keaton Mitchell. Miller was playing behind Tony Jones even. It's gross. Keaton Mitchell.
Okay.
Half-point PPR trade. Nakua, Kamara, Cooper for Diggs, Pierce, and Breece Hall. Okay, this is a big one. So Puka Nakua, Kamara, and Amari Cooper, Diggs, Pierce, and Breece Hall. Which side, Bradley? I think I like Nakua and Kamara's side.
Yeah,
it's Nakua and Kamara for me with Cooper.
Give me the Diggs side because then you already have Brown, St. Brown, and Diggs. You got your flex already set. And then I like the upside of Breece Hall as well. I know he hasn't played well the last couple games, but that's what I'm looking at.
Okay, Bradley goes the ladder. I picked Nakua, Kamara side. Flip a coin.
We're not helping you.
Gabriel Sanchez says full PPR. Gabe Davis, Elijah Moore, A-Chain, Jerome Ford, pick 2. Jerome Ford for sure for 1. And I probably go Gabe Davis here for the over-under of the game.
Let's go. Cosign.
Full PPR, A-Chain or Javonte.
A-Chain.
You go A-Chain. Okay, I go Javonte here. Chicago's given it the most points to the running back position all season long.
Yeah, and Javonte's been really, really bad. At least, to be fair, Chicago made Rachaad White look like a running back 1. So,
yep. So Javonte is going to be an RB11, right? Like the one of the ones. No, I go Javonte from the volume, and Javonte seeing 55 to 57% of the rushing share. A-Chain's probably going to see 30-35%. And then this game in Chicago's giving up the most points to running back. So I lean Javonte here. Next pick is pick 2, Kirk, Wilson, London, Algiers. Kirk and Wilson for me.
Kirk and Wilson.
Next one is Flowers or Pickens. Flowers for me.
I think I still have Pickens.
Even with Bateman and Odell out?
Yes.
Yep. I go Flowers because the volume over Pickens. Great. He's flipping a coin. I love to see it. Biggest Kelly believer too, but Lily got rid of him this week. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. For a 4th, 5th, and 6th in Super.
Let's go. That's the way, Joanna. That's the way.
They overpaid.
Get your pennies. Get your pennies.
They overpaid. Pick 2, A-Chain, Moss, and Godwin. Bradley.
We're going Moss, and we're gonna go with Godwin.
Yep, Moss and Godwin for me as well here. Would you drop Bigsby for Justice Hill?
Would I drop Bigsby? No.
Yep, I wouldn't either. Okay. Tajay Spears or Antonio Gibson's the stash. Spears for me.
Spears.
Okay. Dell or A-Chain? A-Chain.
Tank Dell?
Yep.
Yeah, get full PPR. Give me Dell.
Okay. I'm going to go A-Chain in this scenario. I just don't trust the 17% target share for Dell. It's been climbing, but it has not been consistently 17%. Okay, half-point PPR, start 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, 1 flex. Holy crap, it's a lot of questions. Kamara, Swift, Ford, Godwin, DJ Moore, Nico Collins. So you need one wide receiver, one running back, one flex. So Kamara and Swift for sure are in for me.
Yes.
That's a running back and a flex. We need a receiver here. So it's either Godwin, DJ Moore, or Nico Collins.
Godwin. So it's not DJ Moore. Nico Collins I have at 33, and Godwin I have ahead of that.
Yeah, I think it's Chris Godwin for me because New Orleans is going to – every year we see Marshawn Lattimore and Mike Evans get in a fight, and so
facts.
this is going to be a Godwin game. This is a
Should
Godwin.
we move down Mike Evans as a ejection possibility?
I moved him down this week.
I think that's the move. I'd
just
forgotten about that.
Not even just like from being ejected. It's just from their matchup. Like he shuts them down. They get frustrated. So this is a Godwin game for me. It's going to be Godwin and Cameron Bray and Rashad White moved up in my rankings because of Marshawn Lattimore and Evans fights.
I love it here. Let's go.
Half PPR, choose two: Flowers, Kirk, Thomas, or Debo. If Debo's in, I start Debo. Debo and Flowers. Otherwise, it's going to be Flowers and Thomas for me.
Flowers and Kirk for me.
Okay. Next one is Hubbard or Jacoby Myers. If Sanders is out, it's Hubbard. If not, it's Jacoby Myers.
Yes.
Okay. Raheem Mostert and Judy or Kyron Williams and Brandon Ayuk. You have to start Raheem Mostert as good as he's been.
Yeah.
So I lean Mostert's side. If this is a dynasty question, then I go with Kyron and Ayuk.
Yes.
Thoughts on Mixon this week?
I have him lower.
It's Tennessee. They shut down the run, and Mixon is a POS. So, no, that's the answer. Who's more droppable, Hunt or P. Ryan? I think P. Ryan's more droppable.
Gross. Yeah, P. Ryan's more droppable.
Yeah.
Keep going.
You're welcome very much.
Shout out UMM.
Just watched some Jordan Addison all 22. He's for sure hit. Yep, he's doing well.
Let's go.
Yep, that's it. Sorry for the bad question. that was back to the Josh Kelly crap. Should I drop Algier for Keaton Mitchell or Spears? Oh, I would drop Algier for Spears. Would you, Bradley?
Drop Algier for Spears.
I look at it for contingent value.
Yeah, no, I think both of them will get massive running back. I don't know. Is there a way to stash both guys? I view them very similarly.
Yeah, they're both like RB 39 through 43 for me.
But can be RB 14 plus if they are in a handcuff.
If you can get both of them, great. If not, you might just stay where you're at and hold Algier. Pierce, White, Roshan Johnson, DJ Moore, start two.
We're gonna go with White for the volume, and probably Pierce for the volume too.
Interesting. I'm gonna go
pretty close.
I'm gonna go White and DJ Moore here. Don't love it, but I'm gonna go that route. White for sure, though. He's at least the lock for Bradley and I.
Yes.
Last question, Bradley, and then we're done for the night. Which stack? Who do I start? Lawrence and Calvin Ridley, or Watson might not play, so it's Lawrence and Ridley.
Lawrence and Ridley.
All right, everybody. That's all the questions. If you got more, throw them in Twitter. We'll get to them when we can. We're happy to kick off this podcast again with the Saturday night. This will be every Saturday night. We're normally going to go 6:30, though. I had to go to an Oktoberfest birthday party tonight, so I was 30 minutes late. So 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, 9:30 Eastern.